Welcome everyone to another webinar series, Embracing Change. Before I begin, I want to just share something that I've been experiencing while speaking to many heads of families and CEOs and other members. We had this incredible time of cocooning, which allowed us the honor and privilege to really look at who's important and what's important. And many of us shared in the previous webinars we had how grateful and what an honor and privilege it has been to be able to spend the time with family and our loved ones during this time while being very productive. Many of us have been even more productive than ever because we're in an environment that's in such level of love and care. And what I'm seeing is that there are some who are going back to that default of getting lost into the busyness. And so I just want to remind us all to, think about what Jonathan shared. What did we love during this time and what did we miss? And of course, we then take the time and energy to focus on what we missed, but also remember what we truly loved and are grateful for. But that's not enough. To then take it to an actionable where we make it non-negotiable and part of our daily protocol or weekly protocol. So before we begin with probably the most unassuming genius I know, Dr. D, who's going to talk about the mind-body axis, how the mind affects the body. And last time he spoke about, how to boost our immune system. I really want each one of us, when we journal or meditate or when we go for a walk, obviously we're all in different time zones, just to put into play as a non-negotiable going forward the things that are truly important and the time and energy to spend with those who are truly important. So please, with no further ado, thank you, Dr. D, for the honor and privilege of being here with me again today and with us. And thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here for us to listen to Dr. D and learn, as we always do, from the core of his heart. Thank you, Dr. D, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Faisal, and welcome everybody for this webinar. Mr. Faisal was very generous about everything, introduction. I don't know whether I am genius or not. That is left to all of you to decide. So today's topic, or today's area, what we want to cover is, though elaborately to speak, mind-body axis. But precisely, what is meditation? Is it for everybody? Is there many varieties? What is suitable for me? As simple as that. This is what we are going to address today in this webinar. So the first point of this mind-body axis is we have to understand what is mind, how brain's activity interacts with our mental ability, how brain's activity can facilitate our mental ability. So we have to understand the difference. Brain is entirely different, mind is different. Brain can be as mundane as learning 1 + 1 = 2 and not learning anything more than that. We can see many people around the world like that. Materialistically, businessically, they are very good in what they are doing. But when it comes to emotion, when it comes to interpersonal relationship, or when it comes to personal relationship with themselves, we suck. That is mind. Brain is different, mind is different. Of course, brain is very much needed for the functioning of the mind, but mental facility is entirely different. Emotional acumen is entirely different. Emotional intelligence is different. So today, let's understand what is the mind, how the brain helps us. See, realistically, until the age of 22, our mental brain circuit keeps connecting, forming new connections, and then which facilitates our ability to understand the situation, react to the situation, or respond to the situation. After the age of 22, realistically speaking, brain doesn't do much. It does, but it doesn't do much. Beyond the age of 22, unless we put extraordinarily high effort, our brain function does not much help with our emotional stability or emotional capability. We can keep improving the brain's capability of calculation, brain's capability of running the mundane activity, day-to-day activity in a little bit more efficient way. We can learn how to eat and watch the Bloomberg and then decide where to invest. That is all okay. That is possible until the moment you die. It may be 100 years or 110 years, it doesn't matter. But emotional acumen, how happy we are with ourselves. Don't bother about others. That is secondary. How happy we are with ourselves. How happy we are every moment. That is helped from the brain only until the age of 22. Afterwards, after the age of 22, we need to put extraordinary high effort so that brain can help us in our emotional health too. What is that extraordinary effort? I'm not talking mumbo jumbo. I'm talking about the electroencephalogram tested laboratory proven facts only. See, in lab we check what all things helps in brain's activity connected to the emotional stability. A person newly playing chess, understand that. A person newly playing chess, or after a gap of 10-15 years, if he starts playing chess, then the chess game, the brain game, helps in mind also. A person who is learning to paint newly, or after childhood, after years, he is restarting something new or almost new, then it helps. That painting activity helps in our mind too. And it doesn't help for a long time, or for a certain period of time. And then again, that art, that so-called new art or brainy art, that chess, that painting does not help in the mind. Mind is really tricky. What is body? Our body is, from the moment we are born, metabolism, catabolism happens in the same way. Brain, our body growth also happens, and the damaging, depreciation of the body also start happening. Every moment, our organ, for example, the hand, what we see, the muscles, muscle tissues and cells, what we see now, or the liver, what we see today, what we have today, does not exist after few months. There is a new liver in that place. Almost every tissue of our body almost changes or replaced in a way. The plus point of this is our body can reform if the chance is provided. Minus point is that we have to keep providing the chance. We have to keep providing the nutrition. We have to keep providing lesser damage so that the newly formed organ, or when the organ is newly formed, it is in a reasonable good health. Before, they used to say, if the neurons, brain cells die, they don't form. No, it is proven in the laboratory already that brain cells do regenerate. But the question is, do we need new brain cells? No, we don't need. We are using only 20% of our brain cells, literally 20% of our brain cells. Some cases, 30% of the brain cells we are using. And in that 30%, what we claim, in that 25 is almost like for mundane activity like reading, writing, assessing, analyzing, blah, blah, blah. Left brain activity. The right brain activity, imagination, emotion, connection, love, hate, those things. We use only 5% of the 30%, 20 to 30%. That's all. Rest all brain cells or neurons are left idle. Even a genius, a scientist who uses, who is an inventor, regular inventor, blah, 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 Nobel Prize winner, blah, he doesn't use even 35% of his brain. It's not more than that. Maximum is 35%. Even Einstein level of thinking people, 35%. So mind-body axis, we have to understand. There is always, mind always acts on the body, body always acts on the mind. Latest scientific researchers are addressing one thing very clearly. Before central nervous system, brain means brain and the spinal cord. That is the only considered as a central nervous system. No, not anymore. Our gut has got more neuron connection than even our brain has got. People, they used to think from your, don't think from your heart, think from your mind, think from your mind, don't think from your mind. People used to always say, don't take a decision only from the mind, use the heart also. People say, don't take a decision, official decision from your heart, think from your mind. See, there is nothing division like that. These are all jugglery of words. Our heart, our brain equally functions in decision making, whether we like it or not. Though at the time of decision making, brainy thought may come or hearty emotion may appear in the beginning and say, because of this emotion you are taking this decision, or because of the profit possibility you are taking this decision. No, later on when we analyze, break and analyze and see, brain and heart together only functions. Functioning decision making both does at the same time, almost equally. So all these work from the heart, work from the brain, work from the mind, these are all secondary. We have to understand that human body is whole, not a whole, it is a whole. Our heart, mind, body, gut, everything decides. And for example, if we have a mug of Coca-Cola, before taking a decision, that has got a different impact in our mind and in our body and our heart, or a glass of milk or a glass of water, because our gut neurons, our gut brain we call it, that plays almost equal part in decision making. So mind body axis is very closely knit, extremely closely knit. To some extent we don't like it that much closely knit. What we ate for dinner is going to decide most of the times behind the screen. It's going to decide today morning how happy we are or how sad we are, how grumpy we are. It's going to be decided by what we ate for the dinner or what we ate for the yesterday's lunch. Almost 48 hours of past 48 hours food is deciding a lot of our emotional acumen, emotional decision making in the process. That much gut bacteria decides, or gut immunity decides. Our gut brain decides our activity. This is what the mind-body axis we call it. Jokingly, my master used to say MBA of health, mind-body axis of health. This is how we manage or how we mismanage our mind. This is what the MBA, today's practice or today's session is all going to be. See, what we see, if you are not blind, what we see decides our decision making. A lot of studies are done already in the field. Whatever we see every moment decides how we, recently I watched a movie where a man who bets regularly from the hotel till he reaches the rugby stadium. Continuously they will be showing 55 number in different form. In the lapel or in the glass of beer he served, 55 number is repeatedly shown indirectly. Once he goes to the stadium, unconsciously he bets on the player 55. How is it done? our visual takes visual and brain connection. So traditionally, thousands of years back in India and China, the monks were thinking because they had a lot of time to think. They didn't have to earn the bread and butter every day. Traditionally, in India and China, monks were not supposed to earn. That means the society has to take care of the monks. That means a person who is wearing a saffron clothing, wherever he appears, the society should provide him the food, accommodation for a day or two or maximum a week. Then they keep moving to the next place. So they didn't have to worry about where will I get my bread and butter tomorrow. So they had a lot of time to think. So traditionally, monks were the people who used to research and analyze. So they thought, if our visuals have got this much of impact on our mind, or what we eat, if it has got this much impact on our mind, can we decide tomorrow I want to go for a war? That means what food I should eat today. Can it decide tomorrow's outcome in my battlefield? Tomorrow I want to meditate. So what food should I eat today? So that tomorrow, will my mind be able to sit and meditate instead of thinking too many things? So they made a big list out of it. They made a beautiful list. Traditional Indian books have got list of food for every activity. Preparing a person for wedding. Preparing a person for wedding. 21 days before wedding, what all food should be consumed, what all oil should be applied on the person, what all inhalation, through steam inhalation, what all herbs should be used. Everything list is there. Before war, what all herbs, food should be taken, ingested. It is there, list is there. Before examination, what all children should eat, what all type of food, it's there in the list. Before entering into a totally new venture, it can be a business venture, it can be a new class, curriculum, whatever it is, a new venture. Something new when we are going to enter into learning or executing. What type of food, what type of environment, what type of visuals are good. It's all listed out in the traditional texts. In the future weeks, as a follow-up every week when we send you a note, at that time I'll send you a list of foods which are good for this, good for that. I'll make a list and I'll send it to you. So mind-body axis is this. Now the question happens, what is meditation? Before I enter into that question, if there is any question until now, I would like to answer. Otherwise, we can go for the next area. Faisal, is there any question?
There's no questions yet, but if you'd like to ask anything before he continues, please do so. But in the meantime, if there's nothing, he will continue.
Okay. Faisal, till now what I explained, is it clearer?
Yes,
because this is a, thank you. Because this is a very complicated subject we have to understand in a new perspective. So usually when we go in explaining, usually this is taught to us in our medical school, Indian medical school, for 48 hours. So what is taught for 48 hours, we are shrinking it to 20 minutes and then teaching. So the mind-body axis, I just I shuffled it and put it together as best as I can do. So the next is the meditation. See, I can keep talking about another 2 hours about what is meditation. No point about it, talking about meditation. When meditation happens to us, what happens in our life? If I explain that, that would be tempting for us to go into to learn meditation also. And it is also, we understand what happens when we do the meditation. See, really meditation is a space where we go into a state of total blankness. This meditation is happening every single day in our sleep. For you, for me, for everybody, it is happening. If we do not sleep for continuous 72 hours to 96 hours, if we do not sleep at all, what happens is we start getting or bordering into insanity. So that bordering to insanity, to prevent us going into the bordering into insanity, we go to sleep. Normally, the question happens is how many hours of sleep is required? Ideally, 7 hours to 9 hours for a common human being, regular human being. But for a person who regularly meditates, for him, the number of hours needed for the meditation, number of hours needed in sleep is 4 hours to 5 hours of deep sleep. For a person who has got a mastery in meditation, in the sense, a person going into meditation, whenever the meditation happens, is almost in the mercy of the meditation. He cannot choose, now I want to have meditation. In the process, every day he will put an effort towards the meditation. In a week, 1 or 2 times, he will go into the deepest recesses of the meditation, that blankness, and come out. Then he will be, that effect of the meditation will last for like 2 days, 3 days, or something like that. But a person who is having mastery over the meditation, whenever he wants or she wants, she can go into the state of meditation and come out. That is, the person has got the control over the meditation. For those type of people, the required amount of sleep is just 2 hours to 3 hours only. My master is like that. I am not yet that much into mastery. I meditate, but 50% of the time it is my mercy. 50% of the time I am at the mercy of the meditation. It is vice versa, zigzag, it happens. So when you get meditation, my first master who taught me the meditation told me this: keep a glass of water near you. Before meditation, sip, keep it down. After the meditation, after you sit for meditation, when you come out of that practice, whether meditation happened or not, whether you slept off, whether you really meditated, when you have in doubt, take that glass of water, sip it again, and see. The taste of water, what you feel, will be entirely different. That day you have got a meditation. Because we meditate, our life situation is not going to change, but how we react to the life situation, that is going to change. Because we meditate, our business, we are not going to get a new business contract, or we are not going, or our children are not going to become angels as we want it. They are going to be as they are. We are going to get the business orders, or we are going to face the same issues as we are. But how our mind reacts to that situation, how our mind responds to that situation, entirely varies when meditation happens, because it does not hit and injure our heart and mind. When meditation happens, it takes it in a different plane. It is not that we are putting an effort to. It's not that when stressful situation happens, when one of my company crashed few years back, got crashed because of some issues with the partnerships, and everything is lost almost like within 1 hour. 1 hour back, I thought I am the CEO. 1 hour later, I came to know I am no more in the company. That situation was like a devastating situation at that moment. At that moment, I am not going to sit and close my eyes and try to meditate. It is impossible to do that. But when we regularly meditate, at that moment, few moments, we will react like a regular human being reacts to a situation. Within few moments, something takes over. Something takes over in the subconscious level. We are not putting an effort, like automatically. In India, where we have a lot of power cuts, power shutdown, we have something called equipment called UPS. It's like a battery, backup battery. When the power shutdown happens, we don't have to go and switch on. It's not like a generator, we have to switch it on or something. Automatically it takes over. We will not even know many times the power shutdown happened. It takes over. Same way, when we regularly meditate, our mind takes over, something like this. So now I want to teach, today in this process, I'm going to explain different meditation, but first I want to teach something practically for you. In the last webinars, we practiced something called visualization. This is a bit advanced to visualization. This is compartmentalization technique. With this technique, we can learn, we can process our mind to differentiate different issues of our mind and body and keep it as a different part. For example, you have to choose 5 to 10 photographs, your favorite photographs. You don't have to go to Google images. That's a different practice. Your favorite photographs, moments of your life, 5 to 10 photographs, and keep it. Now you don't have to practice it. Just understand this. 5 photographs or maximum 10 photographs. It can be the first time you saw the child, your newborn child, or it can be your graduation. It can be your favorite, it can be as simple as your favorite movie star. It doesn't matter. It need not be something greatest achievement. It can be a pasta, your favorite pasta, photograph of a pasta. That's fine. But 10 things which excites your mind. As much as possible, try not to have a photograph which can have negative stimuli, we call it, or health negative stimuli, like a cigar. You may like a cigar, but don't keep that photograph. Health negative photograph, don't do that. Don't keep a photograph of health negative photograph of like a cigar or a shot of whiskey or something like that. I'm not saying whiskey is bad or cigar is bad, but repeatedly we are going to use this photograph, so we don't want this type of photograph. Use some positive, healthy, nourishing pasta. Is it negative or positive? Some more borderline, so use that. But 10 photographs, keep that photographs. Keep it in a separate folder in your phone or in your laptop, but train your mind every single day with one background music, 10 minutes or 5 minutes, one music, whichever your favorite, whatever music you like. Play that music, and listening to that music, open that folder, look at that photograph, every photograph for 1 minute to 2 minutes. Your favorite photograph, already chosen photograph, what you like only, it is already decided, it is in the folder. Music, again chosen, every day, don't keep changing the music. Same music, same photograph. This has to be practiced for minimum 21 days, maximum 48 days. Look at the photograph for 1 minute, minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes. If you have a leisurely time, you have 10 photographs, 20 minutes time, you can use it 2 minutes, or 10 photographs, 10 minutes, or 5 photographs, 5 minutes, it's fine. But less than 5 photographs, no use. But every single photograph, observe it. Build your own imagination around it. Even if it is a pasta, this pasta is so nice, or it's creamy, or it can be, say, let's say, I have a small portion of olive oil near, I add to that, or I am tasting it, it's so juicy on my mouth. It can be as simple as that. Or it can be the child you're holding, and the child has grown up now. It's a beautiful child, the child has grown up. But when I'm holding this child, my whole life is in front of me. Whatever you can build upon, that building upon that photograph, imagination can change every single day, or the same thing can be repeated. Or your imaginary future house, I want this house like this. One photograph you have taken and kept it. Somewhere in an architectural site you have taken that photograph, I want my future house like that. Or I want my second outhouse like that, or my farmhouse like that. Whatever it is. But you build the imagination around that in that 1 minute time or 2 minutes time, whichever it is you have chosen. Keep building that imagination, keep building it. And then at the end of the 5 photograph or 10 photograph of your choice, some people have idea like, can I keep 20 photograph and then choose some random 5 photograph? No. 5 to 10 photograph you can keep it, but you can decide today, am I going to do the 5 or the 10? But you can't keep changing the photograph, changing the music, then it doesn't work. Once this is done, after a few days, you have to decide. At the end of 1 minute, if my imagination, I have little more imagination on this farmhouse. No. 1 minute is given, only 1 minute. About the pasta, today I saw a new recipe. Can I imagine about it? No. 1 minute or 2 minutes, whatever you gave. you are limiting it then and there. You are stopping it and then going to the next photograph, whatever new imagination comes in your mind. This trains our mind into compartmentalization of the issues. Then we don't take our home issue to the office and the office issues to the home. We don't mix the child issue with the business decision and business issue with the child decision. We don't mix it. We don't carry it. We don't carry that baggage all the time. We learn to unburden temporarily, if not permanently. If God willing, permanently we can unburden, but realistically, this is a temporarily compartmentalization technique. Very simple. Same music, same photograph, minimum 1 minute per photograph, minimum 5 photographs, maximum 10 photographs. Every single day you have to practice for 48 days. Tremendous change will be there in the mind. Even this is a meditation or preparation for a meditation. We call it visualization technique because our vision leads to the thinking, thinking leads to the imagination. This helps us in compartmentalizing. I found there were a few questions. Faisal, can you read out some questions?
No, just one question is basically, since the mind is separate to the brain, is the mind what forms thoughts, not the brain?
Sorry, the mind?
Is it
the second part
the mind
of the question
that forms the thoughts, not the brain?
Yes. Brain is almost like, okay, to put it more simple way, brain is like ingredients of a cuisine. All these put together, nutritive value may be there, but the taste is going to be decided by the mind, the cuisine, our method of cooking, our process, even the love we have during the cooking is going to decide the taste, if you believe in the emotion in the cooking. Almost like that. Brain plays an important role, but brain is not the basically brings the thought processes, too many other factors as I mentioned before. I hope I answered this question.
Continue.
So
if she responds again, let's, for now we're good.
Okay. So, absolutely saying traditionally what meditation was. See, meditation is, we cannot perform a meditation. You have to understand that. We can plow the field. We can add all the sludge and other things so that the field is ready for the cultivation. We can water the field. We can bring fresh mud and sand and put it in the field and prepare it. Only preparation can be done for the field. And then we can select the very good quality of seeds too and sprinkle it or plant it, whichever way that planting has to be done. Until then we can do. That's it. Afterwards, we don't have any control over it. Whether it is going to sprout and is it going to grow to a healthy plant or not, somehow, even in laboratory, we are not able to decide which seed is going to or which ground is going to. We can create from the history, from the past experience, what all gave a very good yield. That is what technique we are using. But they are not conclusive. They all create the conducive atmosphere. Afterwards, that sprouting and growing of the plant, traditionally to say, inshallah, God willing, it will happen. That's all. But most of the time we can judge, we can conclusively, almost conclusively we can say, for this type of mindset, this type of meditation will suit. For this type of person, visuals are good. For this type of person, mantra is good. For this type of person, for a very strong-minded person, for a person who knows type A personality, or who takes a decision and sticks to the decision and goes straight like a razor sharp mind the person has got, then we can go for a toughest type of meditation, what we call it as breaking the barrier meditation, where not just our present mindset, even our cellular remembering. For example, to give an example, this knows what we have in our face. is not the nose of our father or mother alone. Great, 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 great grandfather's nose, whether we like it or not, it is standing on our face. That is gene memory, genetic memory. Whether we like it or not, whether we want it or not, the skin tone is there. That skin texture is there. The hair is certain way, not because of our nutrition alone, not because of our parental alone. Great, 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 great parent. From caveman time to now, our mind, our body, everything is almost 50 to 60% is decided from the genetic memory. Even genetic memory can be rectified. Even genetic mindset can be rectified. See, for example, there are people who who are very, very successful in their business, self-made. From nothing, they came to everything. They have such a control over every situation in their life, but they can't quit getting angry. They can't quit overeating. They can't quit over drinking, or they can't quit smoking, or even they can't quit chewing gum. Everything in their life, they have the control. They are self-made, proud about it, intelligent, strong, but when it comes to addiction, they are not able to control it. Why? If they have control over everything, if they are able to control everything, they are self-made, successful, disciplined in everything, when it comes to addiction, why are they not able to come out of it? We are all animal of habits. We are all animal of habits. Certain area, that habit somehow gave an answer to a complicated situation into our subconscious mind. Then the subconscious mind started holding to it. Say, for example, I had a patient, whenever he drinks milk, he will vomit. Whenever. He has to sip milk, he will vomit. But when he is not consciously aware he is drinking milk, he will not vomit. When he knows he is drinking milk, he will vomit. Immediate. Immediate. He cannot control it. Sometimes when it is a milkshake, the vomiting will be delayed, but he will vomit. That's all. So when we saw that, once when he had a very deep, high fever, in a delirious state, he was fed with milk. Of course, we did all the other tests, whether he is allergic to milk, blah, blah, blah. No, he's not allergic to milk. Everything is proven that he's not lactose intolerance, nothing. He can eat ice cream made of milk. He can eat milk-related other product, but not milk. It's not possible for him. So when we tested it, when we asked the history, he had a very high delirious fever. At that time, his mother, wife gave him to cold milk to drink, and he drank and immediately vomited. In the subconscious level, the mind took it so seriously that milk means it will vomit. That's all. Afterwards, it was lifetime habit. He cannot touch milk. Of course, we put him into a certain type of meditation, and then it's not a simple process. It's a very, very difficult process, but it's not impossible. It took him 96 days of every day, 15 minutes to 30 minutes meditation practice. But at the end of 96 days, he could drink milk. The question is not what is so important to drink the milk. No, it is not about that. It is about that he was able to break the subconscious barrier. The other benefits, what he got was, he went into deep state of meditation later. He was able to be very happy. Those are the other extra benefits. So these are for the very strong-minded people, this type of meditation is possible. There are meditation called musical meditation. Many of us do that also, especially children when they are preparing for examination, they have their own playlist. Same playlist, 35 songs to 40 songs or 50 songs or 100 songs, whatever it is they have. They keep playing that same song in their headphone or in their music system, and they'll be studying. With that same playlist, they can study. If you change the playlist, they cannot study because they are not even listening. They are creating a subconscious noise, known noise, which shuns away new thoughts. So they can study or they can work comfortably with the same thing. For some people, it is Beethoven. They will keep listening to the Beethoven, then they can. Some people, it is just a Bollywood music. For some people, it is chanting of mantra. It's just, but they have to listen to the same song, same concept, same. That is also a type of meditation for the people who are sound resonant, sound related people. For them, only we can start the meditation process with that. So you have to understand, you are a visual person or you are an auditory person. The auditory person is a person who cannot be in silence. He is always want to listen to something or the other. Then make a playlist of 20 songs or 2 hours playlist. When you are driving the car, when you are walking, when you are in waiting for something, or when you are working some on something, you can play it as a background, the same playlist. It can create, it can block the subconscious chattering. Then in due course, your mind will start learning to go into a state of silence. Then learning a new meditation is possible. This is not meditation. This is preparing for meditation. These are all practical techniques to prepare our mind for more positive thinking, learning something new. Again, it works only for a very short duration. It doesn't work. As I mentioned in the beginning of the talk, learning a painting, it works. Learning a new art, learning a new language, it works. But it works for usually, let's say, 14 weeks to 48 weeks, we call it. At that much time it works. Afterwards, we have to learn something new. That's okay. 14 weeks is not a joke. 48 weeks is not a joke. So if you can learn something new, very new something, you don't have to become master of that art or master of that language or something. But something new when we learn, in our mind, our brain, certain area of the brain is stimulated that facilitates the mind to reduce the chattering box of our subconscious mind. That's all. These are all techniques to stop that old chattering. We know very well worrying about our child not waking up early every day. Our worrying is not going to make any difference. But we are not able to stop worrying. We know very well our the stock market, the way it is performing, we are worried about it. But our worry is not going to change anything there. We can't, how much ever we worry, if you worry too much more, then the Bloomberg will change. No, it is not going to change. But we are not able to stop the chattering in our mind. These techniques helps us reduce the subconscious chattering, subconscious grumbling. These techniques reduce, and then we can learn the meditation. To my knowledge, there are 108 type of meditations. The biggest or the most deepest sort of meditation, about which I explained before, that is breaking the subconscious even barriers of subconscious. That is the most difficult, most deepest sort of meditation, but it's not for everybody. There are many simple meditations. There are many simple simple processes which can lead us to the meditation. There is another meditation called walking mindfulness meditation. Walking mindfulness meditation. If you have a grass surface, you can do that. Especially 20 meters of grass surface. If there is a garden with grass, you can do that. So once His Holiness Dalai Lama, he taught us this meditation. I was asking him what is mindfulness, blah, blah, blah. So many theories I have read about mindfulness, but I never understood that at that time. So His Holiness Dalai Lama, he explained he's down to earth person. He said, remove the shoes, remove the socks, okay? walk on that grass 20 feet, that 20, 25, it was almost like for 50 feet area, walk on that grass, go and touch that tree and come back. I did it. What did you feel? I said, I walked, I touched, came back. He asked me, while walking from here, what were you thinking? I have to go and touch that tree. I have to go and touch the tree. Okay, after touching the tree, what were you thinking? I have to come and tell him that I went and touched the tree and came back, touched the tree and came back. That's all. He said, no. While walking, every step, feel the grass under the foot. Feel the chillness of the grass. Feel the mist at the tip of the grass touching your feet. Feel the chillness. Feel that wateriness. Feel that moisture under the foot. Feel the softness. Your brain is not going to, your mind is not going to forget you went and touched that. You have to go and touch the wall, or you have to come back and tell me. So don't bother about it. That moment, feel that softness. Keep walking. Feel the cool breeze touching your face when you're going towards the tree. Feel that breeze from which angle it is touching the face. Sometimes it may be southwest, it may be or sometimes it may be northeast, it is coming and touching. But feel it. This side it's more, this side it's less. Be so conscious about it. While walking, the texture of the clothing touching or rubbing your skin, the thighs, how the tracks, what you're wearing, is it rubbing your thighs? Feel it. Go, touch the tree. Feel the roughness of that skin of the tree. Feel it. Feel the fragrance of the tree when you went near that. And then while coming back, some areas you might have felt the freshly cut grass, that smell. Some area clay smell. Some area some other smell. Come back and tell me. You won't believe. 50 feet to go and touch and come back. It took me more than 10 minutes. That is walking mindfulness meditation, or process of learning it. It's very simple. Like this, there are n number of processes, n number of techniques. But first we have to understand what type of personality we have, what will suit for us much more easily. Can we wrongly select a meditation? Nothing is going to be wrong, right? Every meditation, paths are different. Ultimate destination is meditation, happiness. Meditation's goal is ultimate, never-ending, blissful happiness. It's possible. It's absolutely possible for every human being. We do not know about the animals or other creatures. But every human being has got the capability and possibility of reaching the everlasting blissful happiness. Scientifically also it is proven, and traditional philosophy also has mentioned about it. But to reach that meditative state, there are many paths. Some paths are going to take very long time. Some paths are going to take a short time. Some paths are going to be easy. Some are going to become difficult. That's all. So choosing the right type of meditation and putting the effort and going towards it, is going to take us to the meditation. Chanting is a type of meditation. That's what Hare Rama, Hare Krishna people are doing. Dancing and chanting. Worldwide you might have Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Zen meditators, they arrange the stones. There are sand games. There are people, Zen meditators, they use a sand with a stick. They create an art. That is also a type of process of going towards the meditation. There is also one. There are methods like, what do you call it? Playing an instrument with a headphone. Recently, I went to around 2-3 years back with my brother in Europe. There was a nightclub he took me to. Everybody was wearing a headphone. It's pin drop silent in the nightclub. And everybody were listening to the headphone and dancing there to that music. It was very interesting and different to see that scene actually. And then when I came back and I discussed with my master, he said, oh yeah, this is being in your own music. There's traditionally it was thought, oh, some Buddhist meditator has designed that nightclub, I think, whatever it is. So meditation, there are n number of varieties of that. But nothing is going to be easy, but nothing is impossible. Meditation is the ultimate goal we have. So we have to put some effort. After all, to have a mastery in business management or something, we are using 12 plus 3 plus 2, like almost like 10 to 15 years of education. To have a mastery over mind, everlasting mastery over the mind, we have to put an effort minimum for an year, ideally, maximum for a year. I am a very slow learner. Even for me, it took me only 2 years to learn meditation. Ultimately, it was amazing difference it had. If there is any question, I'll answer. Otherwise, last one more point I have that I will share and I will end it.
Yeah, continue, and then we can ask this
Yes.
recurring question. We'll
Yeah.
do it later.
Yeah. So, the last point about meditation is there a side effect? Because I have to be careful in this. Is there a side effect in meditation? Yes. There are a lot of positive side effects in meditation. Negative side effect, there is only one. Or should we tell it is negative or positive? I don't know. Me and my wife, we learned meditation. Different method of meditation, different levels of achievement in the meditation. That's a different story. But first, I reached the state of meditation very fast. And it took my wife another 2 years to reach there. It's nothing to do with our capability, because she's much more capable than me. Because she had much more responsibilities there than me, she could not afford the time for that. I had very less responsibility. Or I took very less responsibility, to put it correctly. I reached the meditation earlier. Once we reach the meditation, we have to be careful, because people living around us, they may not be in the same state of meditation what we are. So we have to learn to act a little bit. Otherwise, they are going to feel miserable. You have to understand that. For example, she was searching for the car key once, and so restless because next there is an appointment for her. She has to reach the hospital in another 12 minutes to 15 minutes in Indian traffic. So she was searching for the car key, and I know there's no point in getting stressed and searching. Only 3 possibilities. Either we find the key, go, or I drop in my car and then she reaches the hospital. Or the third possibility, call a cab and reach there. Or the fourth possibility, the appointment is going to be delayed or cancelled. Nothing can be done about it. The getting stressed about searching the key is not going to make anything. This is what happens when we are a person who have learned a level of meditation. If we are not, but if I'm going to tell my wife who are searching the car key, come on, only these 4 possibilities. When she is stressed and searching for the key, I will be kicked. I may be killed also. So we have to learn to act. This is one side effect I have noticed many a time. In meditators who have reached the state of meditation, they are absolutely stress-free. And they have to learn and they have to understand others are not in the same level. So learn to act a little. Oh my God, you're searching for the key. I too have to search, because otherwise you will be late for that. Or go to the next room and sit as if you are very engrossed in a very important work and do your work. Because there's no point in getting stressed about an unchangeable situation or searching for the key. That is the side effect I have noticed. Otherwise, there is no side effect I have noticed in meditation. Yeah. Thank you for
Dr.
your
D,
time. Yep.
so they're asking, what are your views on guided meditation versus sitting in silence?
Guided meditation can be a path to reach the absolute meditation. Guided meditation cannot be always for a person. The first 48 days or 96 days for some slow learners like me, little more longer, guided meditation will certainly help. But in due course, guided thing is not a meditation. It is preparing. Again, still it is preparing us to reach the state of meditation. That's all. Silence or breathing or visual, but not by guidance from outside, guidance from within. That is only meditation. That only will reach to the ultimate meditation.
Okay, so before we start to close off, so what are you planning to share in the next 6 weeks? And at the same time, what should they begin to do other than what you spoke to in terms of doing the 5
Beautiful.
and 10? So that way they have clarity, because you spoke about all these different forms.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Beautiful.
everybody doesn't have the luxury of grass.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. So in the next 6 weeks, I will be sending you audio guided meditation. One. Second, what all food conducive for calming the mind or helping us to go to meditation. Even a person who is not planning to go to meditation, which are good, which are bad food for calm mind. Certain foods are there which is not going to, for example, garlic, which will not calm our mind at all, which will stimulate our mind terribly, very highly. But garlic used in certain way will not be that harmful. So I'll mention that specifically. What food is good for calming the mind, what food is not good for calming. But for example, garlic is very good for our health, but at the same time, it is not that good for the meditators. So how to use the garlic or how to use antidote for that also, using the good benefit, bad benefit, like that. Next is the visual meditation. How I have a set of planned visual meditation, which I can send you with few photographs and how to do that, so that you can practice with that and or understand that, and then you can do your own method you want to follow. And there are few mind games, how we can use the mind games to reduce the mental chatterbox of our mind. How to reduce that? There are a few mind games that I will be sharing with you in the few following weeks. Homework, if you feel, photograph technique is the immediate homework you can surely practice at home. You can choose from your family photographs or whatever favorite thing from the Google images you can choose, and you can practice that. And the recording, I saw one question, recording of this will be available tomorrow. Our Qineticare will share it with you. So if you want to go back and find it, you can. And any questions you can ask it. I will answer it also through the future follow-up emails. Thank you very much, Faisal. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. D. So in terms of any other preparation for the meditation other than the ones that you explained, is do you feel that they should consider combining it with journaling or some form of exercise, or
Certainly.
making better choices in nutrition?
Certainly.
Because the state of being will impact the quality, like you said, right? What I eat tonight is going to impact tomorrow. So
Exactly.
what are some of, beyond the meditation, what are some of the preparatory things that you recommend to build a foundation to facilitate the process?
Beautiful. 3 things I would say. One is, for example, if you are going to practice your today's meditation at 6:15 to 6:30, example I'm giving you, 6:15 to 6:30, real preparation of your meditation starts from 4:35 onwards, almost 1 to 1.5 hours before. So you can't rush from your busy schedule and sit and close your eyes and start meditating. The next 15 minutes I will sit and then go back to my rush again. No. Maximum is 90 minutes. Minimum 30 minutes preparation is needed. That's very important. Second, journaling plays a very important role in streamlining our thought. In streamlining our thought, journaling plays a very important role. Many methods of journaling are there. Like last webinar, we shared a certain thing. Dr. Sadegi shared about another way of journaling. There are many methods. And a deep type of meditation, if you want to practice, I would advise take our direct suggestion, 1-to-1 from meditation teachers like me, or many other teachers are there, but take it directly, not from a book. If you are going for a basics like guided meditation, you can do any meditation. But if you are planning to go to that high level, breaking the barriers of even genetic coding, because that when we break it, we are even planning to break the future pattern of Alzheimer, Parkinson's, or cancer, or whatever is in the genome, we are planning to break it. That is not easy. That you have to learn from masters. That preparation should not be done by hands-on from a video, audio, or something like that. 1-to-1 it has to be taught. Learn that. Last but not the least, try to keep fixed time as much as possible for practicing these things. I don't know why In laboratory, we are not able to prove that. But plus or minus half an hour, but same time every single day, same place if it is that much convenient for you, as much as possible. Of course, when you are in traveling, not in Corona time, afterwards when you are traveling, it's not possible. But otherwise, try to keep fixed time plus or minus and fixed place, same place. Then the meditation happens more easily, more facilitated faster.
I think I just add a comment to that. Somebody asked me that on Sunday when I spoke to them, and I explained that geniuses, all the geniuses that have been in the past, whether it's Picasso, whether it's Shakespeare, ate the same food at the same time, wrote at the same time, painted at the same time. So the body automatically knows that it's time to write, time to paint, time to eat, time to meditate. So the window of 30 minutes that you spoke to, this is somebody that you're working with one-on-one. And he asked me, why did Dr. D give me this window? And that was the explanation I gave. I know you don't have a laboratory,
Beautiful.
but we
Beautiful.
do have a laboratory of incredible geniuses that have lived before us, that have used that habit of the time, so the body already knows what it needs to do at that moment.
Beautiful.
All right. So thank you very much, Dr. D. Thank you very much again for your time, your wisdom, your patience, and bringing this from the, like you said, 48 hours of sharing to 20 minutes. I hope many of us were able to at least absorb, and then obviously we have access to the video, inshallah, tomorrow, and that we can listen to again. And then there will be 6 weeks of follow-up sharings, either video or in recording or written, so that we can take this experience and bring it to, like I said, a practical perspective, so that it becomes non-negotiable and our way of being going forward. So everyone, thank you very much. Next week, Philip and I are going to be speaking about how our state of being impacts our family. We're going to be talking about expectation, imposition, and judgment. And the week after, Kathleen is going to come again, and she's going to be talking about mastering our emotions and the different levels and the different techniques in order to help us, work so that the techniques that Dr. D shared with us are able to come to fruition from reactiveness to responsiveness. So thank you very much, everyone. Sorry to be a few minutes over. When you're having fun, time just flies by. And thank you, and hope to see you next week. And once again, Dr. D, thank you very much for your time, your wisdom, and as always, a learning experience.
Thank you.